It's your homie MC Shadow. You already know, back with another G Files. Homie shot me updated info, pictures, y todo el pedo. So, we gonna hook them up now too, just like we did with the rest. I know I already covered them, but this is a better version, you know what I mean? Putting it down for all the homies in Bell Gardens and all the Bell Garden writers, starting off with.
You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe and check out the playlist.
I grew up hearing gunshots in the late night. Ghetto bird, police sirens as a mother cries. Just another victim of the Soundbrown genocide. Locals posted, locked and loaded, ready to take lives. And when they heard the chieflet, they would duck up out of sight. Like your car when the sun down, it was mission time. You had to stay alert, cause bullets always travel blind. We stayed posted, we stayed drinking, and we getting high. Marchando down the enemy's neighborhood as we ride. Put the hood, put the clica sample, fuck their side. No regrets, but the truth is no peace of mind.
G-Files.
Alright, now starting off right here in Bell Gardens, you have the original neighborhood right here in Bell Gardens, so the largest one and the oldest one out of all the neighborhoods right here in Bell Gardens. Now this neighborhood has been around since the 70s. You have the Bell Garden Locals, BGLS. Now BGLS is the original gang right here in Bell Gardens. They are the largest, the deepest, the one that gives law enforcement a hard time. Now Bell Gardens has more neighborhoods than it used to, but throughout time, different neighborhoods from different areas migrated there, and then tank crews that became neighborhoods. But this was always the original home of the Bell Garden Locals. Always was a neighborhood. They large, you know what I mean? And you can find them spread out through all of Bell Gardens, you know what I mean? And because Bell Gardens is a pretty large city, you get what I mean? And so you can find them by the DMV, by the Bell Gardens. DMV is where you'll find them through those back streets. You can find them throughout Loveland, through the parks. I'm telling you, you can just find them throughout all over Bell Gardens, you know what I mean? Because they are a large neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? These guys ain't no chums, they ain't no suckers. These guys are down with the business, homie. You definitely hear about them, Bell Gardens does have a high crime rate, because all the neighborhoods right there tend not to get along with each other. There's like, beef and tensions between all the neighborhoods right there, and Bell Gardens, right there in the mix of, the mix of it all. So these guys are definitely, with the business, homie. And yeah, they be putting it down right there for their barrio and their city, and definitely representing it and putting their barrio up on the map right there for that BGLS, you feel me? But yeah, that's what's up with the Bell Garden Locals right there. Now also right here in Bell Gardens, you have the King Cobra's neighborhood. Now the King Cobra's neighborhood is the same one as the one from East LA. You guys already know the routine, how people just move and homies just start recruitment. And right there on the south side, they definitely do have a presence right there on Bell Gardens. Kind of really just be scattered through Bell Gardens, don't really have a specific location there, but you do see them up, you do see the activity by these guys. They definitely be representing right there, close to where the Jolly Boys restaurants at, the Jolly Boy Burgers. You find a lot of their activity through those back ends, and man, yeah, you just see all kinds of activity from the King Cobras. These guys, they have only been right here in Bell Gardens since the 90s. But nonetheless, since they're the same ones as the ones from East LA, and East LA and Bell Gardens not that far from each other, just right off the 710, so, it just makes it a lot easier for the guys from East LA to go, back them up over here, and vice versa. You get what I mean? So they're a much larger and older gang than was established here in the South Side. But nonetheless, the South Side still one of their cliques, that be representing right there and holding it down. So another neighborhood you have right here is the Playboys gang. They are right here in Bell Gardens. Well, already the Playboys gang is a large and old school neighborhood in itself. Spread out throughout of Los Angeles and California, and right here Bell Gardens is no different. They have a pretty strong hold right here in Bell Gardens, throughout Florence and like Eastern and Ajax, Corona. Through all of those back ends, they kind of just scattered around. But you do see them up. You do see the activity and going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods right here in Bell Gardens, and like I said, man, this Playboy gang is just, it's a large and old school neighborhood in itself. So you do see them up, you do see the activity by these guys, and they definitely be right there representing it and holding it down for their barrio. You feel me? These guys ain't no chumps, and they definitely be holding it down for their barrio and putting it on the map. Right here in the BG side. And right here also in Bell Gardens on Eastern and Marlow, you have the Walnut Street neighborhood. Now, yes, it is the same Walnut Street as the one in Cudahy. They're also right here in Bell Gardens. They have a strong presence right here in Bell Gardens on Marlow, through those dead ends and through those back streets. You could definitely find them, right there. You can find them throughout those back streets, like throughout like Clara and Eastern as well. You just see a lot of activity by the Walnut Street gang. I mean, this neighborhood, they may not be as old school or as large as some of these other neighborhoods, but they definitely are active. They be putting in work, homie. You definitely hear these guys, and you definitely see their graffiti. You definitely hear about these guys, homie. These guys are definitely active. They definitely be putting in work, and going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods right there, and just doing their thing. These guys ain't no chumps and no pushovers. Like I said, they just because they're not as old school as some of these other sets doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? These guys definitely have heart, and they have their riders right there that be representing. I should know. I got a few homies, from Wanted, and yeah, man, these guys definitely, they some riders, homie. They definitely be putting it down right there and representing. Shout out, like I said, to the homie little Plebe, Bones, all the homies from Wanted, and just RIP to Big Plebe, and yeah, shout out to all the Walnut Streeters right there that be doing their thing and representing and putting their body on the map. Now, right here also on Eastern, but on the opposite end of Eastern, so already heading towards 60th and by where the train tracks and all that's at, you can also find them by the Fords Park. You have the Junior Mafia neighborhood, and yes, it is the same one as the one from South Central and everything like that. They do have a presence right here in BG, pretty strong presence, you know what I mean? You definitely see the activity and all of that by these guys. Definitely you hear the activity by these guys, especially where the Forest Park's at, because there's several neighborhoods established right there in just that location. And when you have several different neighborhoods in one location, you are going to get this madre, you are going to get some activity and hear, all kinds of noise, from other neighborhoods, just combating each other for territory right there, and Junior Mafia definitely be right there in the mix and representing it and putting it down for their side, you know what I mean? And like I said, they are the same one as the ones from South Central, so they are a pretty old school neighborhood now right here in BG. They have only been here since the 2000s, but nonetheless, homie, they made it known pretty quick and, gained its numbers pretty fast, and they be right there representing it in BG and putting it down for their vada right there, representing, Now, right here in Fords Park by Gotham and all of that, you do have the Rookstown neighborhood. Now, Rookstown neighborhood is a neighborhood right here out of BG. Been already right here for a cool minute since the 80s. Like I said, you can find them through the Fords Park. Now, Rookstown is not a large neighborhood in itself. They're not as old school as some of these other neighborhoods right here in Bell Gardens, but nonetheless, they do have their riders, and even though they're a lot smaller than some of the neighborhoods over here, these guys have heart, man. They definitely have their riders and been holding it down right there for the Ford Park since the gates, and like I said, going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods right there that try to move in and try to establish themselves right there, Rookstown definitely be voicing their opinion and putting in work, homie. These guys ain't no chums, no pushovers. I mean, they got several down homies. I got a few homies from here. Shout out Blanco, Spooky. Down ass homies. You know what I mean? They definitely be right there representing for the Rookstown gang. Putting it on the map. Representing for their side and BG and holding it down. You feel me? But yeah, that's what's up with the Rookstown gang right here representing. Shout out to Knuckles. Hopefully maybe we could do work on a rola, and all that. But yeah, go check out his music. I have right here on the playlist on my channel, Homie Gets Down, Homie Has Skills. And yeah, shout out to all the homies from Rookstown that be right there representing.